If you're looking for a way to connect business applications, customers, and suppliers with your SS&C Advent software, we have the solution for you. iServe is a reliable, flexible, and affordable integration layer. It eliminates the need for manual data entry and human involvement. It provides a common framework for integrating and synchronizing applications, and applies business logic through validation and transformation rules. Let's take a closer look at what iServe can do. On the left, we can see the various sources that iServe supports for data import and export. In the center, we see iServe's basic modules and services: importer, filter, validator, transformer, grouping and summarizing, reconciliation, and exporter. At right, we see the IS viewer with log functionality, reporting, and the audit function. Now, let's launch iServe. Upon opening, iServe displays a login screen requesting credentials. The next screen allows the user to select a unit to work on. Let's take a quick look at the iServe menu. First, we have Activities. Activities are the steps of the integration process. These steps include the importer, validation, transformation, grouping, reconciliation, export and web services modules, etc. The next option you will see is Jobs. Jobs is where we can connect the previously described steps before converting them into a workflow. For the purpose of this demo, we have created several jobs. The first one is XML format transactions import to APX blotter. In this case, we receive transactions from a third-party application in XML and transform them into APX format. In our next example, we export appraisal information for a specific portfolio and date from APX to an XML file which can be imported into a third-party system. Receive transactions from custodian and import in APX allows a custodian to send a file with transactions, while iServe automates the transformation and import to an APX blotter. We commonly have to reconcile transactions that exist in APX with ones received from broker confirmations. To manage this task, we have created an example where we get a file from a broker, we retrieve transactions from APX, and then compare them in order to get their discrepancies. Another common daily process is to import prices into APX. iServe automates the prices import, eliminating any manual effort. iServe easily integrates with customer management systems, assisting in automatically updating the relevant fields in APX. There is often a need to export transactions related to fees to third-party accounting systems. iServe offers a solution that can process these transactions for selected portfolios in APX and transform them into the format that the accounting system expects. Last but not least, reconciliation of position often requires a great deal of effort and time. iServe can help by reconciling the positions in APX with those provided by a custodian, finding the discrepancies, and proposing corrective actions. As we mentioned before, iServe is an integration layer which requires little effort to create workflows and integration between systems. Let's look at an example to see just how easy it is. Let's assume that we have some interest transactions. We need to export them from APX, validate them, and format them so that they can be seamlessly imported into a third-party system. First, we create a workflow to carry out the steps described, and afterwards, we proceed with the creation of the relevant job. Starting with an importer, we retrieve data from APX. Next, a validator verifies the validity of the data while the exporter ensures correct formatting of the file to be sent to the third-party system. Once we press the Save button, the job is ready and available for the IT administrator to use, assisting the integration of the organization. In the execution menu of iServe, users and IT administrators can monitor the executed jobs. Successfully completed jobs are indicated in green, while those currently running are indicated in yellow. From execution, we also get a graphical representation of the status of each step included in the job, running or completed, and the number of processing and pending records. It is important to note that all tasks can be scheduled using business logic, taking into account a calendar that includes business days and holidays. In this way, iServe maximizes the efficiency of your organization's scheduling needs. In order to better illustrate how iServe works, we will examine the process of reconciling transactions from APX with transactions received from a broker. From the Activity menu, we can create a step-by-step process for this workflow. An importer will retrieve transactions from APX for a selected portfolio and a specific period. Using Validator, we can set up the criteria to validate our data, while the aggregator enables us to generate sums for the transactions. Next, we will need to import the information received from the broker using another importer. Validator and Transformer ensure that the data are comparable. In the Reconciliation module, we define the key fields for comparison and the acceptable deviations in either absolute or relative values. In this scenario, 4 files are going to be generated. The first will contain the transactions that exist only in APX. The second will include the transactions that exist only in the broker files. The third file contains the matched transactions, while the fourth contains the transactions that exist in both APX and the broker files, but which do not match based on the comparison criteria selected in the Reconciliation module. Of course, we can take it a step further and create files with proposals for corrective actions. Going into the Jobs menu, we will run the relevant job. On the Execution tab, we can see that the process has started. 54 records were imported from APX to iServe, and 56 from our broker files. Both were validated, with 7 invalid records in the broker files. We have chosen to aggregate the data from APX and the broker files, and to transform it accordingly so as to compare them. In the end, we receive a full log of the results of our comparison. After exporting, we can go to the relevant file directory, defined in the iServe exporter, and review the 4 files generated. The format of these files is similar to the format of an APX blotter file. iServe installation, setup, configuration, and maintenance is a straightforward process. With iServe, we achieve economies of scale, ease of maintaining daily integration, as well as cost saving. If you want to learn more about iServe, please contact us at info@clarityrisk.com.